Good afternoon and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Daniel Perry with your latest headlines. Boxing coach Ashley Brown is now looking to chance his arm and step in the ring himself. Here's what he had to say about where his career will take him.
From damn garage gyms to bright lights in Las Vegas, the world of boxing has many stages a boxer has to go through to pursue his goals. This white-collar boxer is just getting started, putting in the hard work at the pound-for-pound palace in Southampton as he prepares for his second fight.
Ashley Brown, I am 21, I am a PT, boxing coach and boxer. So I jumped into white collar. I had my first white collar last November. Not everything went exactly to plan. It was my first fight ever. Adrenaline picked up, etc. Went in, burnt myself out within the first 2 rounds, especially the first one. And I did end up losing that, unfortunately. But going into the second on the 2nd of April, preparation-wise, it was good for the first fight, but I didn't feel like I put enough time into it. Coming into the second one, I want to win. I really, really, really want to win.
A shoulder injury during a training session has hampered Ashley's progress, but he's pushing through the pain and chasing the rewards.
So I threw an overhand right last Friday, so it was quite a while ago now, but I hit the shot. I felt agonising pain come from my shoulder. It shot all the way down my arm, I just couldn't move it. It just dropped, that was it. I was in agonising pain, I was screaming, I dropped down to the floor. It was fine. I rested it over the weekend, massaged it, hot and cold baths, constantly one to the other, stretching it, massaging it, looking after it. Did light training to pick it back up again. Done resistance band training to try and strengthen the individual muscles in between and whatnot. Sparred again on Thursday and it went again, right on the last round as well. I did like 6 rounds beforehand, was fine, felt really, really good. Switched over to southpaw, came with a double jab with my right hand, and it went again. Not as bad as the first time, which means I guess it is getting stronger again. I would have thought what we think has happened is I've got a slight tear in my rear deltoid, just from a bit of overstretch on one of the shots. And because the angle I came in with the overhand hook on the first time I did it, it's just overstretched, and the angle and twisting and everything else is just really, really torn the deltoid a little bit. So I've taken this week, we plan to take the week off sparring at least. I'm still in doing my usual training. We're taking it lighter this week, more technical based, hand-eye coordination, reactions, speed. Even then, speed not so much. It's just light work, just to keep me ticking over, ready for next week. I'm going to jump back into sparring again next week.
Reporting from the pound-for-pound palace, this has been Adam Silner for Solent Sports News.
Olympic gold medalist Tom Daley is arriving in Southampton today at the end of a 63-mile cycle. The 27-year-old is taking part in a 4-day event raising money for comic relief. The Olympia's challenge started yesterday in London and will finish this Thursday in his hometown of Plymouth. Here is our reporter Fraser Day, who is there to discuss what's taking place.
Tom, how are you feeling? Daley has just left doing his final 20 miles out of today's 63-mile stretch from Reading to Southampton, raising money for comic relief. We caught up with him just moments ago.
Tired, very, very tired. I mean, I started off this morning in Reading doing a mile swim in 5.2 degree water, and then having to get out, get on the bike, and now I'm 40 miles into my 60-mile cycle today, and I'm going to be in Southampton hopefully by 5:30 today, maybe a bit before. So we'll see how fast we can do these next 20 miles, but then that's going to be the end of the day. But honestly, I thought I was going to be okay going into this challenge as like an Olympian, but I thought I was going to be able to tough it out, but it has been one of the most difficult things I've ever had to experience, and pushing my body to places that I didn't think I could get to. So and tomorrow is going to be my worst day, because the most I've cycled on a day is 60 miles so far, and I have to do 130 miles tomorrow to Exeter. So, and then follow it up on the last day with an ultramarathon. So, so I'm halfway. Well, I'm nearly at the end of day 2, but I can imagine by day 4 I'm going to be completely exhausted.
Yeah. And you're doing it all obviously for Comic Relief, so it's a great cause, raising money. Like you say, you're nearly halfway there. How have the conditions been today? Has it been tough?
Well, the conditions for the swim, funnily enough, were dry. And then as soon as we got out of the water, it started to rain to get on the bike. And it was just coming into here. Are we in Winchester? Because I've literally just been looking at the car in front of me, just pedaling my feet, trying to get here. But it stopped raining. So hopefully it's going to stay like, I've said it now and I feel like it's starting raining. But I feel like it's going to be okay for the rest of the time there, and it'll be nice to stay dry. But it has been rainy, it's been windy, it's been all the conditions that you wouldn't want for a cycle. But it's been really nice to have people coming out to support, schools coming out to support, all the people here coming out to support. And that's really what makes it really, doable, is when you feel tough and people have got to I'm at the top of a hill, let's say, and there's people waiting at the top. It really does make a difference.
That's brilliant. Well, Tom's going to be in Southampton at about 5 p.m. later, so go down, show him your support, and good luck with the rest of the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it looks like Fraser's battery died just then, but well done to Tom on his journey so far, and good luck to the rest of it. Now on to tennis, as Novak Djokovic has admitted he's willing to sacrifice his trophies if he is told he has to be vaccinated to play. In an interview with the BBC, Djokovic said he does not wish to be associated with an anti-vax movement, but believes people deserve the right to choose if they want the vaccine or not. This is the first time the 20 times Grand Slam winner has spoke out since being detained in Melbourne last month, and he said he hopes the rules change in the future so he can continue playing for many years to come. Manchester United centre-back Harry Maguire has had his nerves eased today, as manager Ralph Rangnick has said that he sees no reason to strip him of his captaincy. United have not kept a clean sheet since the 22nd of January, leaving the fans angry and demanding change at the back. Red Devils legend Rio Ferdinand has also spoke out today, saying that Maguire needs to stop pointing the finger at his teammates and look at his own performances. Rangnick spoke about how the psychology of the players needs to improve.
Clear in 11 out of 13 games since I arrived, we scored the first goal and we were 1-0 up, but we didn't win all of them. And especially in the last 3 games, it was very sad that we didn't win those games, because it cost us 4 points in the league and the next round in the cup.
We caught up with our reporter Conor Minnis earlier in the week, where he followed Kai Taylor's journey to the Solent ladies football team.
This is Solent ladies number 8, Kai Taylor. We spoke to Taylor about her journey to Solent University.
Solent, just because this was the best opportunity for me and my best friend to be able to play again together since high school. So it's been really unique and special for us.
The midfielder recently moved away from America, but why did she come to the UK to pursue her footballing dream?
I moved to England because I signed with a freelance agency called Play Overseas with my best friend, Gabby Ewing, who also plays for this team, but she's injured right now. And we agreed to go to the school that offered us both an opportunity to play, and Solent was that school.
Taylor has been an integral part of the team this season, and consequently her game has developed massively since adapting to the English game.
No, I think 100% that when I moved here, my game rose in levels, whether it be from a confidence standpoint, and then just the caliber and the amount that we're playing. Of course, just naturally, if you're putting in the hours, you get a little better. So I think for sure my game's grown exponentially since I've been here.
The American playmaker was keen to pinpoint the main differences between playing in both America and in the United Kingdom.
I think in America, coming from the level that I played at, was a lot of speed and aggression, and I think more just the culture of taking the game, at least in the women's sense, more seriously in America. So I think coming here was a little different, a little more recreational and leisurely, but being able to couple the Solent team with the Eastleigh team allows me to play at 2 different competitive levels, and that's been interesting for my game, to say the least.
Solent ladies currently sit top of the table this year, and Taylor puts that down to the team's sheer togetherness, as well as the manager, who has a clear vision of how he wants his side to play football.
I think what's really great is just the numbers that continue to show up for every training session, and then whether the girls that are suiting up or they're just here to support on Wednesdays, wherever we are. I think that's a pretty special unity thing, and we have a great coach or manager leading us right now, so it's been great.
We thank Taylor for her time and wish her the best of luck in Solent ladies' next game against Cardiff Met.
Newcastle are still yet to find out how long their new signing Kieran Trippier will be on the sideline for after he fractures his left foot on Sunday. Trippier was substituted off shortly after half-time and was seen leaving the stadium on crutches. The defender scored the second free kick of his Newcastle career in a 1-0 win over Aston Villa, which pushed the Magpies 4 points above the relegation zone. Vavel's Newcastle correspondent Harry Roy was at the game and believes that Trippier could be out for longer than expected.
We think he's going to be out for around 6 to 8 weeks, but I'm told it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. So I think anywhere upwards to 10 to 12 weeks, I think is probably right for Trippier. You know, I think everyone's heart sank in the press box after the game. Obviously, everyone left the stadium. Trippier went to hospital as soon as he was took off injured, and he'd come back into the ground. I think it must have been just to collect his things, and he came in with a full protective boot on and crutches. I just think everyone knew what was to come. Eddie Howe was actually above us, and we heard Trippier shout "Gaffer," and Eddie Howe looked down and he just puffed his cheeks out, and I think he knew from then it was a bad one.
Neymar could be set for his return to football tonight after not playing for PSG since November. The Brazilian superstar is back in training after suffering an ankle injury, which has seen him out of action for over 3 months. The French Giants face Real Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League as they look to lift their first European trophy this season, with pressure mounting on manager Mauricio Pochettino to perform. On to Russian skater Kamila Valieva, as she has been given the all-clear to compete in the figure skating singles this morning after a previous failed drugs test. She says there was a mix-up with her grandfather's heart medication which led to her failed result. The CAS says the issue of an untimely notification of the result is key and that the late notification was not her fault. She is currently first in today's singles competition, which is underway in Beijing. A local derby tonight in the National League sees Eastleigh travel to the Bob Lucas Stadium as they take on a Weymouth side, 9 points adrift of safety. Earlier today, we caught up with BBC Radio Solent's commentator for tonight, Los Herdmund, who described himself as feeling nervous ahead of tonight's game.
It's the 7th game in charge for David Oldfield since he came to Weymouth. I think performances so far have been encouraging. There's been a couple of standout results for me. The first game in charge at Boreham Wood, who are flying high in the National League, drew 1-1. And also the derby at Yeovil drew 1-1. They've only won 2 matches at home this season. That is relegation form, and it has to turn in the final 17 matches, Dan. It's interesting that both Eastleigh and Weymouth have recently lost managers. Eastleigh are still managerless. They've got Jason Bristow in charge. Weymouth clearly have David Oldfield at the helm now. They're both 2 out-of-form sides, and both will be absolutely desperate to turn around their fortunes. 3 points would be a massive boost to confidence, even though it is a hugely uphill challenge to try and stay in the National League with that 9-point deficit at the moment. 3 points, you never know. Get on a run, and everything is possible. The fat lady ain't singing yet.
Kick-off for this clash comes tonight at 7:45, with tickets still available to purchase online at Weymouth's website for £16 each. Alternatively, if you can't make it down to the Bob Lucas tonight, tune into Lawrence's commentary across all local frequencies for BBC Radio Solent. That's all for now. Head over to www.solentsportsnews.co.uk for more information.